My name is Shannon Brassevin, and I'm here at Practice Indy to give you a quick 15-minute CrossFit flow. So this is a quick yoga practice that either as a CrossFitter or an athlete in general, or maybe you just have a really stressful day job, night job. This is a quick 15-minute practice that you can get in to relieve some tight muscles, and it requires minimal props and minimal knowledge or no knowledge of the yoga practice. So what you will need is something to pad your knees. I have a blanket. You could have a yoga mat or anything else that works. A lacrosse ball. This could be a tennis ball, just any kind of ball that doesn't have give, so it gives you some feedback. And then a block, or you could use textbooks, or LOL, I've used my kids' toys before. So something that just mimics this would be great. So we're gonna start off from the bottom, work to the top. Take your lacrosse ball, bring it underneath your right foot, and just start to roll through the arch of the foot. And for most of these things, the sound of is an appropriate mantra. It should be on the verge of, as John Mellencamp says, hurts so good. So rolling that ball through the structures of the foot, trying to mash out and break up some of the fascia. If your balance is not great, you can hold onto a wall while you do this. And when you find a spot that's particularly tense, just soften and hold there. Maybe your eyes start to quiver in your head. Or maybe you keep rolling around. Just become aware of your breath. See if you can take deep breaths in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then go ahead, relax that, set the foot on the ground, feel how much cooler it is than your other foot now, and then switch sides. Rolling lacrosse ball, tennis ball, into your foot. Ooh! I should just have Hurt So Good playing in the background as our soundtrack. So moving that lacrosse ball around your foot, maybe getting into the webbing of your toes, pausing in any spots you're like, nope, not today, Satan. But then LOL, you stay there, so I guess today, Satan. And if you don't get that reference, the kids say it, so, I say it, because I'm pretty trendy, so. And if you don't know, you don't know, and you don't know that I'm being ironic and that I'm really funny, but I'm really funny, so. One more breath. I usually use pain as or laughter or joking as a defense mechanism of pain. Great. Go ahead and slowly release that. And then find your way to a wall is also a prop you'll need. I'm going to show from the side, but your hands will be against the wall. One foot is going to be forward, so let's say that's your right foot. Left foot will go back, right knee will bend, hands are against the wall, and I'm straightening my back leg and pushing that heel down towards the earth, okay? So at the wall, looks like this. And I can even use the wall to push. So stay there, you're staying there, I'm walking around making jokes, being hilarious. And then you might in the last bit of this, bend your back knee, but try to keep the back heel down. What that's gonna do is get into your soleus, which is a deeper muscle in your calf. So breathe. I'm squeezing my hand because it's so uncomfortable, so try to relax everything but the space that's being stretched. And then if your knee is bent, straighten that leg. Step the left foot forward, press the hands against the wall, step the right foot back. Again, right leg now is straight, left knee is bent, looking for a stretch, that's with an A, a stretch in our calf muscles. So you may need to negotiate that a little bit further back, a little bit further forward, so that you get that stretch. And everybody's femur length is different, tibia length is different. So find the stretch that works for you. And breathe. Remember, I'm showing from the side, but you would be at the wall. Perhaps in this last bit of it, you bend the back knee, keeping the back heel down, getting a little deeper into the calf. Hurts so good. Do you know what I mean? Great song. Classic. Who's your classic? Breathe. 3, 2, 1, and we're done. You can shake it out as you move your blanket towards that blessed wall. Now we're going to be facing away from the wall. I'll show you both against the wall and then a profile, but essentially we'll come into a tabletop pose on an angle. Let's have the left leg going up that wall. So your left knee is going to try to come as flush to the wall as possible. If you have super tight quads, that might be a little less than flush. And the foot is going up the wall, trying not to tuck the toes against the wall. The right leg will step either the shin forward, and this might be all you got today, or foot to the floor. And then we're trying to back the hips as close to or toward the wall, to our heel as possible. Maybe hands to our thigh, maybe arms back. Okay, so start to hold whatever you can get. I'll show from the side as you hold. So that front leg is our support, either on the foot or you can even be on the shin. And the back heel, imagine there's a wall here, is as close to my sitting bone as possible, yeah? So like this. This is my profile. Not really sure who I'm imitating, but they're really attractive in voice, so I'm gonna stop talking. It's like really awkward for me because I'm here by myself and I'm teaching you, which is like totally cool, but also like you're not here, so yeah, my jokes are really landing. To come out, you're gonna bring your hands back down to the ground if they were lifted. You'll slowly, gently pivot that foot away from the wall. If your foot was down, bend the knee, and then we'll go to the other side. So coming into a little side straddle tabletop, right shin goes as flush to the wall as possible. Left shin either stays on the ground or foot to the earth. And then backing my chest up as close to that wall as possible. If you're familiar with wall angels in the couch stretch, you're welcome to do that. But really I'm just looking for you to target that quadricep area, your quadricep muscles. So if you are feeling a stretch in the front of your thigh, you are nailing it. Breathe. Smile. Find joy. Be present. What other affirmations can I blankly throw out there? This too shall pass. Take another deep breath in. To come out, exhale, bring your hands down. Slowly, gently guide that foot away from the wall. Then bring your front leg in. We're going to turn on that blanket so that we have a knee at least on the blanket. Let's slide our left leg forward and as straight as we can get it. So some of you, it might be like bent knee central, and that's okay. You can even take your textbooks or your block, whatever you've got, to bring the floor closer to you. We're looking for a hamstring stretch now. So the straighter the leg is, just means I have more mobility there. And I'm trying to get rid of this like gorilla back here, so think belly button to quads, really lengthen the spine. Okay, searching for a hamstring stretch. You can do that. Unless you're in a very public place, or if you want to be in a private place when you're in a public place, that definitely can move some people away. And we're going to bend into that front knee, and now the right leg will straighten as much as it can, opening up into the front of the hip. So I want you to notice this angle versus this angle. We're working that super long angle. Front knee is over ankle. Hands can come to the inside of the leg if that's available to you, or even forearms to the ground or to your textbook or your blocks, maybe halfway. Feeling a stretch in the front of that hip on the right. And I emotionally don't like deal with things well, so I'm really good at avoiding things. So a great avoidance tactic here is to shift your weight from side to side. You know, such a yogi. We're going to slowly pitch the hips back, slide the left knee to match the right, and switch sides. So the right leg will go forward, we'll straighten the right leg, Coming into that hamstring stretch on the right. Woo! Hurts so good. Come on, baby, make it hurt so good. That is Yoga Sutra 14.12. Look it up. Utilizing the breath, I digress. Utilizing the breath to really deepen the stretches. And also, so why this is yoga is because of our awareness. If you feel a tightening or, you know, like your back is killing you, back off a little bit or take a deep exhale to soften into those structures. What transitions from just being a stretch routine to actually yoga is the awareness. So, you know, against my awful joke, see how aware you can be and where your body is feeling the stretch and breathe into that space. We'll bend into the front knee again, nice long back hip, so the left hip is opening up, feeling that stretch in the front of the left hip. Hands can stay lifted, they can come to the ground, you can lower your forearms. You may note that each side is different, that's perfectly normal. Soup's totes okay. Just breathe into whatever is showing up. You know. And again, you can shift from side to side. Notice if you're doing the pose with your face, it doesn't actually work like that, so try not to, you know, gnash your teeth. Move into your where the wild things are, best impression. We're going to slowly come out of that, pushing the hips back, maybe sliding the front knee to meet the front ankle or vice versa. You can just roll onto your back. Really doesn't matter how you get there. Have your textbook or block nearby and possibly your lacrosse ball. We're going to lay all the way down onto our back. Feet will be flat. Left ankle crosses over right knee as we bring the legs towards the chest and keep pushing the left knee away from the body. Coming into a reclined pigeon. Maybe you wrap the arms through the window of the left leg and the outside of the right and pull your legs close to you. You should be feeling, or we're trying to feel, a stretch in the left outer hip. So if you're feeling it in the knee, back off a bit as we're trying to isolate that space of the glute. Again, you can do that if you're by yourself. If you want to be by yourself, it's a great way to make people think you're really into like bird calling in non-bird calling situations. We're going to take the arms out into a T. You can hold that longer if you need, or dropping our legs over to the right, so the left foot will come onto the ground. We'll look over the left arm just to release through the low back for a breath or two. Try to keep your shoulders soft and flat to the mat. You'll be looking over your left arm, or if that's too much on your cervical spine, your neck, you can look over your right fingertips. And then we'll inhale, bring it back up. Switch the feet, crossing the ankle. The right ankle over the left knee, coming into that supine pigeon. Trying to push the right knee away. Smiling. Trying not to judge your pedicure. Mine personally is a tragedy. Taking that over to the side, extending your arms out. Gaze will go to the right as your feet or your right foot comes to the ground. Your legs go to the left. So you twist through your low back. Continuing to breathe. And using your inhale to come back up through center. Releasing the legs, maybe coming up to seated for just a second, grabbing your block, or you can even do this with a lacrosse ball. If you do the lacrosse ball, you'll need to do a little bit longer because you'll go one side at a time. You'll place the lacrosse ball in between the spine of your scapula and your spine, so that meaty space, your rhomboid's right in between. If you have the block or the yoga textbooks, you want it to be on a flatter height, going up the length of the spine, in between the shoulder blades. The hips and the head need to touch the earth, so you may need to bend your knees. You're gonna bring your elbows and wrists down, keeping the elbows bent. Then we're doing yogi snow angels. So trying to reach the fingertips to touch overhead. It'll be a big stretch in your chest, your shoulders. And then coming down, trying to bring the elbows as close to your sides without ever letting the wrists come up, the elbows come up. So we won't do 10 together, but perhaps you pause the video here and you do 10. I'm gonna do about 3. Oh. To come out, we'll take the hands, if the knees aren't already bent, bend the knees, place the feet on the mat, tuck your chin to your chest. If your abs are tired or just not working today, you might roll to one side, or you can do a sit-up. Bonus fitness. And our very last stretch that we'll do is for our shoulder and our neck. So coming up to a comfortable seat, if sitting comfortably isn't a thing for you, grab a chair, sit on your props. Take your, I'll mirror you this time, left arm out. Thumb will drop down, bend the elbow, bring the left hand to the back of the right hip or as close to it as you can, and then drop your right ear towards your right shoulder, opening up the space of the left side of the neck. You can even do little tips of the chin down to the shoulder and back up, just moving through that range of motion in your neck, stretching through your chest, through your shoulder. Oh my Lord. There's some little baby gremlins in there. Breathing into the baby gremlins. Doing that as long as you need. When you come up, you'll bring the head up first, chin parallel. The left arm will extend, maybe roll it out. Right arm goes out, thumb down, bend the elbow, right hand to the back of the left hip. Left ear towards the shoulder, rolling that right shoulder back. Staying here, even doing little side to sides with your chin. Ugh. And on your next inhale, bringing the chin back up, the arm releases, do a couple of shoulder rolls. Take a deep breath in through your nose. Big breath out through your mouth. I would highly recommend from here you take a Shavasana for about 3 to 5 minutes, simply laying down and doing absolutely nothing so that your central nervous system can reset. We rarely just sit and don't do something like consume media, LOL, aka watch TV, or Instagram. So I'd encourage you to set a timer, close your eyes, truly just be. And if this is all you can afford in time today, I'm grateful you took the time. Thanks for listening to my horrible jokes. Thank you for practicing. Again, my name is Shannon, and from Practice Indy, namaste.